Ezekiel 3:14. So the Spirit lifted me up and took me away, and I went in bitterness, in the heat of my spirit. But the hand of the Lord was strong upon me. In other words, the four living creatures was a space shell, which was spoken of in Ezekiel chapter 1 when it made its maiden flight. So if a man don't know these things, you would know who he's talking to. So by me being born in the United States of America, where the space shuttle was created and manufactured, I am the prophet sent by God in this Bible prophecy to prepare the way of the return of Jesus Christ, to speak to the house of Israel, telling them the matter at hand, that God sees them and God sent me to command them to change from their ways. 3:15. Then I came to them of the captivity of Tel Aviv, that dwells by the river Chebar, and I sat there where they sat, and remained there astonished among them 7 days. And it came to pass at the end of the 7 days that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman. In other words, watching everything that's done into the world today during the range of the space shuttle. Unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, Thou shalt surely die, and thou givest them not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, so to save his life, the same wickedness man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, not from his wicked ways, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Verse 20. Again, when a righteous man does turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he has done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thy hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, that the righteous man sin not, and he does not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned also, thou hast delivered thy soul. And the hand of the Lord was there upon me, and he said unto me, Arise, go forth unto the plain, and I will then talk with thee. Then I rose and went forth unto the plain, and behold, the glory of the Lord stood there, as the glory which I saw by the river of Chebar, and I fell upon my face. This was the maiden flight of the space shuttle in Ezekiel chapter 1. This is why you have to be precise when you know when your God is talking to you, and understand some significance of the meaning of the prophecy. Then the Spirit entered into me, and set me upon my feet, and spoke with me, and said unto me, Go shut thyself within the house. But thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee, and shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out among them. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof, of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be to them a reproof. For they are a rebellious house. But when I speak with thee, I will open thy mouth, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God. He that heareth, let him hear, and he that forbeareth, let him forbear. But they are a rebellious house. Now, you see what he taught and speak when he speak to the prophets. The words of God is to his prophets. He speaks to us and tells each and every one of us what to say. But when you hear a preacher, a prophet, propagating lies among the people, these are not words of God himself. But they will make you think that they are God sent by preaching, talking about what the lion mean, the bear having 3 ribs in the mouth, the lion breaking in pieces with eagle wings, and all of these, and the leopard having 7 heads, but they don't know the meaning of them. So when you get these things to you through these false prophets, they prophesy lies of falsehood. So it's worse than the first part. It's worse than a man not giving you the gospel of God and giving you the gospel of God through falsehood. When they speak concerning about the Hebrew children being put in the fire furnace, this is the United States using weapons of mass destruction upon these people, destroying them with wormwood, which is nuclear weapon, through these drones having hellfire missiles attached to them. This is the fire furnace that they would put them in. Even when they hit this target in Afghanistan, they put this fire upon this here mountain where these people was in this cave, and they found over 200 bodies dead in this. All of these things, which came from the fire dragon, which was manufactured in the arsenals of the United States of America, these become weapons of mass destruction, where lamentation was heard, where these people was crying because these were the weapons that they were using on them. Because of the continuous transgression against these people, against the God who gave Abraham the land. Because they had burned incense to Baal. They had worshipped the craft of their own hand. They had become killers where they killed their brothers and their sisters instead of making a peaceful accord with one another. So God is executing judgment because they had set forth and made their habitat, which God had preserved for peace, they had made it a cattle drum to execute their brothers and sisters. So therefore the curse that God placed upon the seed of Abraham became the curse to curse the family, because they had transgressed the law of Moses. One didn't consider the rights of the other. So now you sit and you listen at a man try to interpretate the beast of Revelation, the beast of Daniel, and he tells you what is going to become of the peoples at the end. You have to wonder, where do he get his prophecy from? Who was the God that spoke concerning these? Because it's not consistent with Bible prophecy. It tells you here that God took and told the prophet to speak to these people concerning this. How can you speak concerning this matter if you don't just go in and you're going to tell them about some beast with 7 heads, spots like that? You got to know what you're delivering before you go. And God don't put no burden upon us. He tells us who he sent us to and